The Johnsky is a YouTube channel run by and run for people over the age of 13. People under the age of 13 should click off of this video right now, or watch with a parent or guardian. Viewer discretion is advised.
You don't scare me!
What's this freaking today, Englishman? My name is King Prime. Welcome back to another video here on the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at another Jazwares World of Halo action figure, that being the Jazwares World of Halo Grunt Major. One more piece of Covenant cannon fodder for the grinder. But before we take a look at that figure, let's take a look at what it comes in. Of course, with all the Jazwares Vault figures, you're going to get the figure coming in a just regular brown mailer. Has Halo, Chief, Halo, Chief, Halo, Chief, and Chief's shoulder. Has Halo on the top, and barcode on the bottom is completely black. You don't really care about this. Inside of this is the actual box that is for the Grunt Major. As you can see up on the front there, we have a nice photo of the Grunt Major's face, which is very simple. We'll talk more about that once we get into the review. It has the gold foil Jazwares Vault logo up at the top left there, as well as another photo of the Major, a little bit zoomed out on the side. Grunt Major with accessories. He's the third figure in this line. On the other side, just a little bit of the window. We'll open that in a second. And on the back, we have a full body shot of the figure itself. Grunt Major with accessories, plasma pistol, environmental base, normal stuff. On the bottom, we have some legal jargon. And on the inside, we have a plastic window to see where the figure would have been on that nice 2000s era backdrop. A nice grayed out photo of the Grunt Major there on the front, as well as the name again and another one of those stickers. Up at the top, it has Halo on the top of the box, but that's pretty much it. I say in every single video, my friends, but you only really care about the packaging if you're a box or card collector, which I'm not. I'm here to open and review toys, and that is just what I'm going to do. Freeze frame. Freeze frame unfreeze, and here is the Grunt Major out of the box. But before we take a look at him, let's take a look at what he comes with. First off, and least important, of course, we do have this environmental base, which is very nicely detailed. It kind of looks like either the floor of a Forerunner installation, like the Halo rings or whatever, or even you could fudge it and say that this is the deck of a Covenant ship, which absolutely not. There's no way in hell that would be that. Plus, it'd have to be purple. It's nice, you know, you can link these together. If you've known anything about these, they're kind of pieces of crap. They're kind of good for displaying the figures, but I usually just throw them in a bag and forget about them. So that's that. Next off, and most importantly, is the plasma pistol, the Grunt Major's primary weapon. Should he have come with a needler? Maybe, but I think this plasma pistol is definitely the best one we've gotten in the line so far. It has the nice orange details on the inside there, as well as a simulated plasma electricity crackle, the thing that they have at the very front of the plasma pistol as it's charging. Looks very nice. A little bit too light for my take. I think that it should be just a little bit darker green, but it's fine. Everything else, though, the body of the thing is picked out with purple paint, and it's all laid over a gray cast. So I believe that this is gray plastic with everything painted around it. So very nice indeed. And of course, the Major, if you were to bring him in, can hold this. All you gotta do is slide it into his hand. And because it's a plasma pistol, it's a very simple weapon, very simple handle. Yeah, bro can just hold it like that. But moving on from the pistol, here is the Grunt Major, and he looks very nice. He's very simple. This figure, I think, would do a very good job fitting in any Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, or Halo 3 display. Moving on to the details, getting close up here on the head, it is very simple. As we saw in the box, there's just those two little eyes picked out in black paint here on the face, and that's pretty much it. His skin is very, very dull and gray, kind of like as the Grunts always had. These little Ungoy fuckers are sure ugly. I'm glad that the mask is on there. But all the details of the methane mask are picked out in gray as well. Moving on to the back, you do have a little bit of a wash right there over the methane tank, and as you can see, it just goes all the way down there, which is very nice to see. The top of it is picked out in like this brownish gray paint and goes around to the bottom of the harness where it would attach to the Grunt's body. Goes around with the straps there onto the stomach and holds on there. Of course, non-removable, and I think this is supposed to be the insignia which makes him a major, or this is the control panel to the methane tank. I don't know Covenant systems very well, or how the Ungoi control their gas intake, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. Of course, because this is the older design, he does have the horns on his elbows and on his knees. And they are also picked out in sort of a bone color and washed in with some brown to make it look just a little bit more accurate, make it stand out just a bit more. Same thing goes around to the feet, where he has 3 of the main claws on his toes and then 1 on the back. All those are picked out in that same wash, just like on the elbows and on the knees. There's a little bit of wash over his crotch and stuff like that to make it just look a little bit better and to have those recessed details stand out just a bit more, to make it look like a higher quality action figure, to make it worth the $20. Whether or not it's worth that is to be determined, but honestly, it looks good for what it is. Moving on to the articulation, however, the Grunt Major does have a ball joint at the head, and also is on that hinge joint, so he can look that far up, that far down, and then everything in between there. He does have some pretty hindered articulation at the arms. It can go about that far out, but it cannot go all the way around because of the way his shoulder pads work. So you can get that far back, that far forward, and that's about it. He does have an elbow joint, which is, of course, being a Jazwares figure, very limited. Only goes, way less than 90 degrees. We're not even going to try to calculate that, but it also doubles as a swivel there. He has a rotation at the wrist and a hinge joint, so it can go in and out on both hands, in and out, in and out. He does have a ball joint at the waist, so you can get his grunt reps in, and then this, of course, doubles as a swivel, so you can get a very good range of motion there. He does have, and mind the angle here, ball joints at the hips, so that he can get a good range of motion there, about that far out, that far forward, that far back, so you can get a pretty good range of motion backwards. Because the way the Grunt's legs work, they don't really go forward at all, because that's the extension point of it, and the horn here blocks any kind of straight legging poses, so you're just gonna have to crouch like that. He does have an upper thigh swivel as well as a double knee bend, which we're used to, but again, because of the Grunt anatomy, it's not, you're just not going to get that much out of it. Honestly, you can try, and the joints are there, but it's just, you're not going to get much out. As for the foot articulation, you do have a nice ankle pivot as well as a foot up and foot down. Unfortunately, on my copy, the left foot seems to be fused. I don't have the equipment here to unfuse it, so if you were to heat this up with a heat gun, you might be able to fix it. I'm not going to force it because I don't want to break another Grunt. That would suck. It's just another example of Jazwares QC being kind of crap. So I do have to deduct some points for that at least. That's it for the articulation. Let's get some other figures in here to compare the Grunt Major to. Freeze frame.
I need a weapon.
Don't ever make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it.
I just painted the Shitstein Chapel in your toilet. Human.
Freeze frame unfreeze. And here is the Grunt Major next to our previous World of Halo action figure review. Kelly 087. Here he is with the golden standard of action figures himself, Dark Times Darth Vader, who, as you can see, is still much shorter than him. I guess that's accurate. I need to look at my size chart again, but having Vader just be a little bit shorter than the Grunt at the methane tank is pretty accurate. And then here he is with Master Chief, who, yeah, definitely seems about right. Just is absolutely dwarfed by Chief. So that looks pretty good to me. No real qualms about the scaling of this thing. Let's move on to my final thoughts so I can tell you exactly what I think about the Grunt Major. Freeze frame. Freeze frame unfreeze. So overall, the Grunt Major is just okay. I don't think it's particularly a fantastic figure. It's just a normal run-of-the-mill Grunt that we've seen plenty of times before. I do think this thing is diverse enough to fit into any display from CE to Halo 3 that you could possibly devise. But I don't know. There's something about it that just makes me feel like this was an afterthought. So to have this here with a $20 price tag, and then to have the QC issues, and then a kind of crap accessory, even though the accessory is nice, only for this thing to be dolled up as well with the wash on it, which I say is something good. Not a lot of these figures have washes. It just seems that Jazwares went through with the extra effort in order to make that price tag seem a little bit worth it. Seems a little cheap to me. I don't think this is a bad figure by any means, and it will do good in any Army Builders collection, including mine. That's the primary reason I got it. But something to me just seems off about this thing. It didn't break. The QC is bad, as proven by the foot. The articulation is just subpar, but the thing looks good. That doesn't really equal a $20 price tag to me. It doesn't seem that worth it. If I had to do this all again, I probably wouldn't get this figure and just would get the regular Jazwares World of Halo figures that they released for Halo Infinite, just so that it would slide a little bit more seamlessly into those displays that I've already made with those figures. But if you're a big fan of Grunt Major, or you like the Grunts, or you like the Covenant, you like Halo 2, you like Halo in general, make sure you share this video with your friends. Share the Facebook groups, all that good stuff. If you like the content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. It keeps helping the channel grow. It keeps helping people about this content. That's going to be pretty much it for this time, my friends. Thank you all so very much for watching, and as always, peace.
Oh!